come in. Oh, hello there. I heard you guys just got back. You came home a lot faster than I expected you to. I'm assuming that means all of your missions were successful? Well, that's good. No mishaps? Issues of any kind? Well then, it's very rare to have a full shift of nothing but smooth sailing. I'm sure it was amazing. And how was it for you to go out onto the actual field and shadow not only an angel who's already working, but an archangel? It's like working with a celebrity, isn't it? And how did you like working with Gabriel? He is a very kind one, yes. Oh, a little trouble. Hmm. Fascinating. And this is why Gabriel is one of my best friends here. Sure, fighting is sometimes very necessary for what we do to defend the souls that we need to bring back. But there's something about Gabriel, his ability to just speak, and it soothes almost anybody he meets. Oh, I'm sure you saw it right away. He is able to calm down some of the demons that he has a run-in with when he's out to collect new souls. It's fascinating to see. Me? Oh, well, I shadowed Michael, and let me tell you, that was very different. Oh, yes, very militant-minded. It was definitely how do humans put it? Shoot first, ask questions later. He has that type of mindset. Oh, really? So your friend got to shadow Michael. And how did she like it? Hmm. Didn't like it very well, did she? Well, that's perfectly fine. If it makes her feel better, you can tell her, secretly of course, that Michael gave her an excellent grade for being there with him. Just because a angel, a young angel in training, doesn't see eye to eye exactly with their instructor, that doesn't mean they don't see potential when push comes to shove. He told me that she stood very strong during a couple of bad encounters. She actually came home Not an hour ago. Of course you can. Now, I will tell you that Gabriel was very pleased with your performance, assisting him, watching him, and taking notes. He said that you were also very inquisitive about his actions and his preferred style of confrontation. Mm-hmm. Well, yes, he is the communicator out of all of us, anyways. Like I said, it's an amazing strength that he has to be able to negotiate so well. Of course, he does have to fight sometimes, and he's not very fond of it. Indeed. He does it anyway because, well, sometimes that's the last option. Oh dear, trust me, you're not the only one who wishes we don't always have to fight. Yes, really. We may train you in combat how to talk to recently deceased souls, how to comfort them and bring them back, or at the very least, give them the opportunity to choose whether or not to come with us or not. But that doesn't mean we enjoy it. Oh yes, some trainees really enjoy the combat. Some of those are the ones that Michael keeps his eye on, for good and bad. Well, for good, those are the ones who are very disciplined in their skills and know when to use it. What do you think the bad version is? Mm. Correct. Somebody who delights in pulling triggers and casting spells and causing harm completely intentionally, regardless of whether it's to the enemy or not. Excessive violence is not tolerated, and if Michael notices any overzealous angels in training, then he'll put a stop to it. He definitely gives them a chance to prove that they really were more just too excited. But if he notices that they continue to be, well, harmful, then we have to send them away. Well, away from the school, of course. They still remain as angels, but they more, well, look for other branches of being an angel. I mean, you know that collecting souls is not the only thing that you do, right? Some protect living people, others help protect objects or locations. It's very diverse what we do. Some do more tasks than others, but everyone starts here Now, since you asked me about both Michael and Gabriel's styles of confrontation and how they work, let me ask you, what do you think? No, it's not a test, I promise. I'm just curious. What do you think about the methods, their ideas? Gabriel only uses violence as a last resort, yes? Do you think that is the best approach? Or do you think he should be a bit more willing to fight if he feels like negotiations are starting to go south? And what about Michael? Do you think he's in the right to just start swinging and trying to fight almost right away? Just to make sure nothing bad happens in front of the enemy? Or should he be more cautious and patient to draw his sword? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Interesting. So that was for Gabriel. What about Michael? Mm-hmm. Equally interesting. Hmm? No, I promise that wasn't a test at all. I just personally enjoy asking questions like this. We may be soldiers, in a sense, but we do have a brain. We can always ask ourselves, what would we do if we were in that situation? What do we feel is the best approach? True, there's no real perfect approach to anything, but it's always good to run it through your head a couple of times to see if you can plan the best possible situation with the least amount of any sort of damage towards yourself or others, and still get your job done. Me? Well, that is a good question. And that is also a good question. Yes, I do still go out onto the field, although my main duty now is to train young angels like you, and to make sure that you lead the new generation of collectors and transporters to be the best you can be. However, during my times out there, I would say I am more one to communicate rather than to fight. Yes, really. Well, just because I can fight as good as Michael doesn't mean I want to. Because I don't see the reason to, the need to. Talking does just as well, and while I may lose a soul or two. Well, it's better to me at least to do that rather than to cause more unnecessary strife between us and our fallen brothers and sisters. Absolutely. I'm always happy to share my thoughts. Now, for your grade. I know it's crazy, but, well, like I said, Gabriel said you did very well. And you actually passed with flying colors. How do you feel about that? Great. And relieved. Good. He did say you were very nervous, but I'm proud of you. You did a good job today. You're very welcome. Now, let's see. Since you were expected to be home tomorrow, you have the rest of today and tonight to do pretty much whatever you want. You know where it's safe to walk around and where you're not supposed to. So why don't you just spend the rest of the day to yourself? Recoup, relax, maybe spend some time with your friend, and I'll see you here first thing tomorrow morning. Of course. Have a great rest of your evening.